We're not leaving without him, the little girl said. The girl held on tighter, so tight her small fingers started to shake. No, she whispered. We're not leaving without him. The men looked down at her, annoyed, confused, amused. He's dead, kid, one of them said. Let go. The girl shook her head instantly. Tears filled her eyes. But she didn't cry, not like before. This time, she refused. He's not, she said, her voice small but stubborn. He just needs help. The man lying on the ground didn't move, didn't breathe, didn't even look alive. Dust covered his clothes. Blood dried along his sleeve. And still, the girl wouldn't let go. Move him, another man said. Two of them stepped forward, reaching for the body. But the girl wrapped herself around him, like a shield. No, she shouted. You can't take him. The men exchanged looks. Then one of them laughed. Kid, you don't even know who he is. Silence. The girl tightened her grip. I don't care, she said. That answer hit differently. Even the men paused for a second, because it wasn't fear speaking. It was something else. Something stronger. A choice. He's just a stranger, the man said again. The girl shook her head. No, she whispered. He saved me. The wind moved slowly through the empty street. No one spoke. Then, heavy boots stopped in the dust. A cowboy, watching, still, silent, but his eyes locked on the girl. Kid, he said quietly, you should let go. The girl didn't even look at him. No, she said again, stronger this time, clear, final. We're not leaving without him. The cowboy's expression changed, just slightly, because in that moment, he realized something. This wasn't just a child holding on. This was a promise, and promises change everything. The cowboy stepped closer. Slow, careful, move aside, one of the men said. We've wasted enough time. The girl didn't move, didn't even look up. No, she said quietly. He's still here. The men sighed, frustrated now. Kid, he's gone, one of them snapped. You don't understand. The girl finally looked up, eyes full, but steady. No, she said again. You don't. Silence. The cowboy watched her, really watched her. There was something in her voice. Not hope, not denial. Something else. Something certain. Let me check, the cowboy said. The men stepped back slightly. Suit yourself, one muttered, but don't expect miracles. The cowboy knelt down. The girl loosened her grip just a little. Enough. The cowboy placed two fingers near the man's neck. Waiting. Nothing. The men shook their heads. Told you. Wait. The cowboy's voice cut through everything. Quiet, but sharp. He leaned closer, adjusted his hand, focused. The girl held her breath. Every second stretched. Longer, heavier. Then the cowboy froze. Hold on. The words came out different this time. The girl's eyes widened instantly. What? She whispered. The cowboy didn't answer yet. He moved his hand again, carefully. Then, there it was, faint, weak, but real, a pulse. The cowboy pulled back slightly, shock in his eyes. He's alive. Silence exploded. What? One of the men shouted. The girl grabbed the man's arm tighter. I told you, she cried. I told you he wasn't gone. The cowboy stood up quickly. Water, he said. Now! No one moved at first, too stunned. Then suddenly, everything changed. The same men who were ready to walk away were now rushing to help. The cowboy looked at the girl. You were right, he said. The girl didn't answer. She just held on tighter, because she never doubted it. Not for a second. The man coughed. Barely. But it was enough. The girl's grip tightened instantly. "I'm here," she said quickly. You're okay. The cowboy poured a little water on a cloth, placing it gently on the man's forehead. "Easy," he said. "Don't try to move yet." The man's eyes flickered, half open, confused, like he didn't know where he was or how he got there. "What happened?" the cowboy asked. The man didn't answer. Couldn't. He was too weak. So the girl spoke. "They attacked us," she said. The cowboy looked at her. "Who?" The girl swallowed. "The men from the canyon road." The men nearby shifted, uneasy, because they knew that name. Everyone did. "They took everything," the girl continued. "Money, food." Her voice dropped. "And then they hit him." She looked down at the man, tears returning now. "He tried to stop them," she whispered. "He told me to run." A pause. "But I didn't." The cowboy's eyes narrowed. "Why not?" The girl shook her head slowly. "Because he stayed," she said. Simple, honest. "He didn't leave me, so I didn't leave him." Silence fell again. Heavy, real. The cowboy stood up slowly, his face darker now, colder. "Those men," he said quietly. "They'll be back." The girl looked up, fear finally starting to show. "For him?" she asked. The cowboy nodded. "For both of you." The wind picked up, dust moving across the street. That same uneasy feeling returned, because this wasn't over, not even close. The cowboy's hand moved slowly toward his gun. "Then this time," he said, "they won't take anything." The wind shifted, sharp, heavy, and then hoofbeats, fast, loud, coming straight from the canyon road. The girl froze. Her hand tightened around the man's sleeve. "They're back," she whispered. The men in the street stepped aside. Some backed away. Some disappeared inside. Because everyone knew this wasn't a fight they wanted. But the cowboy didn't move. Not even an inch. He stepped forward instead. Slow, calm, ready. 3 riders appeared at the edge of the town. Dust rising behind them. Same men, same cold eyes. They slowed their horses, then stopped, their gaze locked on the ground. On the man, on the girl. Well, one of them smirked. "Looks like he's still breathing." The girl moved closer, protective. "You're not taking him," she said, her voice small, but strong. The men laughed. "That's not your choice," one replied. The cowboy stepped in front of them, blocking their view. "It is now," he said. Silence snapped. The leader tilted his head. "And who are you?" he asked. The cowboy didn't answer. "Didn't need to." "Move," the man said. "We're taking what's ours." The cowboy's voice dropped. "No." Simple. Final. The rider's smile faded. His hand moved toward his gun. Big mistake. High voltage draw. Bang. The shot echoed through the street. The rider's gun flew out of his hand, spinning into the dust. The other 2 froze instantly. The cowboy stood steady, gun raised, eyes locked. "No one touches them," he said quietly. The air tightened. The power shifted. For the first time, they weren't in control. But the leader smiled again. Slow, dangerous. "This ain't over," he said. And somehow, that made everything worse. The silence grew heavy. No one moved. No one spoke. The cowboy's gun stayed steady. The riders didn't try again. But the danger was still there. The girl looked at the man on the ground, then at the cowboy. Then slowly, she stepped forward. "No," the cowboy said quickly. "Stay back." But the girl shook her head. Tears filled her eyes. "He stayed for me," she said softly. "I'm staying for him." The words hit hard. Even the riders paused. The girl turned toward them, small, shaking, but standing. If you're taking him, she said, then take me too. Silence. The leader frowned. What? He muttered. The girl didn't move. I'm not leaving him, she repeated. Not again. The cowboy stepped closer. You don't have to do this, he said. But the girl shook her head again. Yes, I do. Her voice trembled, but didn't break. Because he didn't leave me, she added. A pause. And I won't leave him. The word spread through the street. Deep, real. The cowboy looked at her. Really looked. And something changed. He lowered his gun slightly, just enough, then stepped forward, standing beside the girl, not in front. With her, the riders watched, uncertain now, because this was no longer fear. This was something stronger. And suddenly, they weren't so sure anymore. The street stood still, dust hanging in the air. No one dared to move. The girl stood firm, the cowboy beside her, and the man on the ground, still breathing. The leader looked around, at the people, at the cowboy, at the girl who refused to step back. His confidence slipped, just a little. You're making this harder than it needs to be, he said. The cowboy didn't reply, because there was nothing left to say. The answer was already there, standing in front of him. The leader exhaled sharply, frustrated, annoyed. Then he looked at his men. Leave it, he muttered. Silence. What? One of them said. It's not worth it, he snapped. The tension broke. Just like that. The riders pulled back, slowly, then turned, riding away, dust trailing behind them. And for the first time, they didn't come back. The moment they were gone, the street breathed again. The people stepped out, closer now, braver. The girl dropped to her knees beside the man. You're okay, she whispered. I didn't leave you. The man's eyes opened slightly, weak, but alive. The cowboy stood nearby, watching, quiet. Then he said, You did more than that. The girl looked up, confused. You reminded everyone, the cowboy added, what it means to stay. The girl didn't fully understand, but she felt it, and that was enough. Sometimes the strongest people are the ones who refuse to leave. Red Heart